Okay, this is the story of how we got Kai and where we are now. So, first of all, in 2017, I was pregnant with twin boys, and in my third trimester, we lost one of them, and he was stillborn. So in August of 2017, I gave birth to Isaiah, who is now almost 4, and Simeon, who is stillborn. And then in January of 2018, so Isaiah was 5 months old, and we had 2 more toddlers, a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old. One of my friends told me about a baby. So she is from Oregon, actually, and lives in Tanzania, and oversees an organization in Western Tanzania that is trying to reduce the mother and infant mortality rate in Tanzania. So they're trying to encourage women to get prenatal care. They are equipping midwives because many women give birth at home. They are trying to improve the relationship between the midwives and the hospitals. They're just doing everything they can to reduce the mortality rate. And so this friend, one of her midwives tried to save this mother. And so that's how my friend ended up with this information. But anyway, basically, Kai, our son, lost both his mother and his twin brother in childbirth. So because he was a single twin, which is not very common, she was telling me about it. She was not asking us to take him. She was just telling us about him because she knew that we could relate to loss, especially twin loss. And both my husband, Abram, and I felt this, I don't know, I guess I would say like a nudge from the Holy Spirit, because I don't know what else to call it. It's either that or insanity. We both felt compelled to take care of this baby. And again, my friend was not asking us to take care of the baby. She was just telling us about the baby. And I asked her what other options they had. The midwife took care of him for the first 10 days of his life. The father was just in complete shock. Nobody else wanted to take him. He was a very high-risk baby, and it would have been at great personal expense to take care of him. Anyway, we both felt compelled to take care of him. We waited to see if a Tanzanian would take him. We talked to the local government and a few other people, and then we decided to take him in. So we got him when he was 2 weeks old, and now he is almost 3.5. Extremely healthy, happy, secure, confident. He's just an absolute delight. It was a really hard thing when he was small. He weighed about 3 pounds. He was about 10 weeks early. Because I had a 5-month-old, I was able to breastfeed him, which was just a huge blessing and a gift to both of us. And I think that really helped him with health, but also with secure attachment and thriving emotionally. We had a lot of help. We hired an extra part-time nanny. Because we live here, we can afford to pay well above the minimum wage for childcare, which means that we are just really blessed. We would never be able to afford that in the States. So we have a lot of help. My husband was also finishing his dissertation at the time, so it was one of the hardest things we've ever done. But once he finished his dissertation, once the babies got a little bit older, it got easier. So now he's 3.5, and his father has relinquished his rights to him. Although in Tanzania, it doesn't really matter. He still has final say over the baby until we adopt him. So even though he's relinquished him to us and we have custody of him, he still belongs to his dad until we officially adopt him. If we get there, he will stand before a judge and relinquish all rights permanently, and we would be able to change his last name to ours, and the father would no longer have any say in his life, although we plan to keep him around. We hope to continue our relationship with the birth father and to have him, in his life. But anyway, yeah, so we are now working on the adoption process, and it's going very slowly because the government here can be fairly inefficient, and it's also not urgent. Nobody else feels like it is urgent, so nobody else is making it, top priority. the court dates get canceled, the paperwork gets lost, the forms don't get signed. I mean, it's just one thing after another. So we could use prayer for the adoption process, and I guess prayer just for the relationship between Kai and his birth family and us and the birth family. Yep.